We bring in Congressman Scott Perry from the 10th Congressional District to talk a little bit about what's going on in Pennsylvania as far as the suits that are being filed by the Trump campaign, and also ask him about the status of where his election is right now as well. Good morning, Congressman. How are you?
I'm well, Gary. Good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. We just have a short time with you this morning, but I wanted to ask you about these suits that are going on in Pennsylvania. What's really at the crux of all these? Do they really want the voting stopped, or what's this really all about?
Well, they don't want the vote counting stopped, but what they want to be able to do is observe it, which Pennsylvania law provides for. So they want to be able to watch to make sure that, for instance, any number of examples, right? Well, they want to make sure that the ballot is postmarked prior, to Election Day or Election Day, not postmarked beyond Election Day. They want to make sure that the signatures looks like it matches. And of course, there's also another, as you know, a lawsuit regarding these 3 additional days of voting, which that it's seen by many people as determining the time, place, and location of an election. And while we certainly appreciate the governor's involvement here, but that's the purview of the legislature. The legislature decides when and where elections happen. And so essentially he's saying the election in many people's mind is happening on Friday, not Tuesday. And
also on that, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which is primarily Democrats voting there, and again, it's just fact that they are Democrats.
Right.
Now, whether or not they voted as Democrats or they voted as just justices on the Supreme Court, that's up to them. But the point being that I think the Trump campaign's point of view, from what I can understand, is that they acted in a legislative process there as opposed to a judicial process there. Am I correct on that?
That is correct. So that's what the rub is all about. And just this spring, I know a lot of people don't know about this because it's not touted highly in media, but there was a arrest and a conviction regarding vote tampering and voter fraud in Philadelphia, and of course that's where they are. And when you see, and I'm not saying this happened in Pennsylvania, but I think it did happen in Michigan and maybe some other states, you literally see tens of thousands, maybe 30, 100,000 votes come into a counting place all at one time. Mm-hmm. And they're all homogenous. They all have the same. So in the case I'm talking about, the report we got was that every single vote of 100,000 was for Vice President Biden for president. Now, while that is probably mathematically possible, it's highly improbable that
right.
And so the campaign is suing because they want to be able to avail themselves to their constitutional the rights to observe the election count, observe it, and they've been shut out of that. And so they're saying, while we're being shut out, we want the count to be halted till we can resolve this because we want to be able to observe. And I don't know who is not for an open and transparent process. I mean, I remember the times where a Democrat and a Republican sat at the table and you counted the votes, and each one looked at it, and that's fine. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
And, of course, we have in Arizona, we've got another situation where we're talking about 600,000 votes, many of which were cast on Election Day as a drop-in. And, of course, the Election Day, as we saw, while mail-in voting definitely benefited the Democrats and Joe Biden, the drop-offs or the voting in person on voting day definitely benefited Donald Trump. I mean, we've seen that all across the country, and they're saying, hey, where are those ballots? Have they been counted? We think that we have a pretty good chance of winning Arizona, which has been called for the Democrats right now, if those votes are counted correctly. So that's a whole other process. Very quickly, we only have about 40 seconds left with you, Congressman, but where does your race stand right now? I saw in Dauphin County, which kind of went for DePasquale, there's about 1,043 votes left. Cumberland County, like 31,000 left to be counted. I think York County still has like 17,000 to be counted. Where does your race stand right now?
So we're waiting for the counts. I don't know of 17,000 in York County.
I'm sorry,
to the commissioners.
Yeah.
York County's essentially counted everything in except for the 3 days.
I'm incorrect on that. So let me just say 0% mail ballots percent counted. It says here, and then it says 77,000 ballots remaining. Now that's a little misleading to me, so I'm not sure if they've already been counted. And York County is basically done. I know they're 100% done with their walk-up voting the other day, but your thoughts, about 10 seconds.
Yeah, look, we are up tens of thousands of votes at this point, but we want every legitimate vote to be counted. So we're waiting for essentially Cumberland County to do that, and we feel pretty good about our position. But we need to wait until every legitimate and legal vote is counted, and then that's what will decide who has won this election for the 10th Congressional District.
Congressman, we'll be talking to you a little bit later on if you're to win that election as well. But thank you for taking the time to talk to us a little bit about what's going on here with these suits. Appreciate it, and safe day for you.
Thank you. Same to you. Be safe.
Take care. Congressman Scott Perry with us this morning here on WSBA Morning News with Gary Sutton.